it is a chain,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Network is not having 1,000 direct contacts. They should not spend money to learn. They should not spend money to stay. They should not spend money to eat. If you don't build relationships, there will be people may transact with you, but people will not trust you.
Hi everyone, I'm with Prakash Ji, who is actually right now building 18 startup for students who are in right now college, who just don't want to just do academics, who want to do something off campus and who want to build something big for India or for global anywhere. So you can meet a lot of people who are actually builders, who are actually thinkers, who are actually impactors. Hi sir, and yeah, welcome to the
Hi,
podcast.
Karthik.
Yeah. So just let me know, like, what you been through. What is your journey since years?
Okay. I'm a mechanical engineer. I finished in 97 and I started my career in the engineering industry. I work for companies like Atlas Copco, Ingersoll Rand, Gemco for the first 8 years. And in 2006, I moved to banking. I moved to ICICI Bank. I spent the first 3 years in commercial vehicle lending, retail trucking lending. And in 2010, I moved to Coimbatore in business banking, SME lending. And till 2016, I was in ICICI Bank, and I left ICICI Bank in 2016 to join a logistics company. I joined NTC Logistics. It's a niche transporter of over-dimension cargo. They are among the top most companies in the world. Probably I don't know, at that time they were the 7th largest in the world. They must be ahead now. And in 2020, I left NTC to join a tech company which was trying to create platforms for logistics. But the year, it was 2020, so nothing materialized. It was not to be. Nothing came out of it. In 2021, I also had the time, obviously, during COVID to sit back and see what can be done. So, as I was building my corporate career, I also was testing out my aspirations in entrepreneurship, tried to do a few businesses. Finally, there was one business which I co-founded with my wife, which actually by 2020 had generated enough income, started generating enough income to take care of our family needs. Currently, my wife is running it entirely. So at that point in time, we were discussing whether I should continue my corporate life or I should pursue something that is closer to my heart. With the support of my wife and children who were at that time in 10th standard and 12th standard. I mean, today I find it very, very daring, but at that time we did take that call that, okay, Prakash can leave his corporate job and get into the startup to do something that is closer to his heart. And I launched a financial inclusion platform for auto drivers. So the next 2.5 years, I focused completely on that. We created good products, but we made. I had 2 other co-founders. We made a lot of rookie mistakes as a startup founders, typical startup mistakes. And although it was a great idea, we were not able to build it into a great, viable venture. So we stopped it in October, and in October I met my current co-founders, Zishan and Teja, in an accelerator program in Build 3, and we struck off very early. In fact, among many, we were 36 participants. I think among all of them, I was able to match the energy of Zishan and Teja, who were still in final year college. So the 3 of us had very similar value systems. We were very frugal. We were all teetotalers, and we were fundamentally having similar values, and the same what you call hunger to build something impactful. So when we met, we ideated, we first is that we decided that we'll work together. And then we ideated what we will work on, and then we came up on this idea of 18 Startup, which now focuses on skilling college students for entrepreneurship.
Okay, so as entrepreneurship is like penetrating into the society, a lot of people are coming out and taking risk, maybe like the middle class family without no background, no finance background, no support. And there are a lot of people who are leaving their corporate jobs, like you, risking their jobs and entire, which are even like high paying jobs, and risking their entire life and taking that entire risk to start their own venture. And what are the like things has changed from that generation to this generation? What are the available resources, and what are the things one could take chance on right now?
Yeah, see, when I finished college, I think the exposure that we had was very, very limited. I don't think we had even the level of maturity that the college students have today.
Yes.
We were, all that we had to do is finish 12th, do engineering, go to US or take up a job and do something. And more so at the time when I finished engineering, the trend was to simply do something in IT and go to US.
Yes.
So that was the trend. There was very limited, or we did not even think that we can actually launch a company and do something. To put it in perspective, there was an opportunity when I finished engineering. We were looking for, before we were looking for jobs, just before we got the results, we met some businessmen in my native town where I finished engineering. We asked them, give us jobs. So they said, see, one thing is we are SMEs, we cannot afford engineers. So why don't you guys start something? Why are you looking for jobs? And they actually gave me an idea that there is a BPL is launching medical equipment business. So why don't you go and seek agencyship for that? We discussed, I met them along with a few of my friends, and when we were coming back from that meeting, we were discussing, oh, we'll do like this, we'll do like that and all. And the moment we landed at our place, we found a job, somebody went in for higher education. We didn't act on that idea. 15 years later, I got a proposal in the bank for a medical equipment distributor in Trichy, which is my native place, who had already reached a top line of 150 crores, seeking a 20 crore limit. So I called up my friends and said, see, we were so stupid that there was a great opportunity in front of us that we didn't leverage it. So I think at that time...
Is that the thing, like, could we able to deliver it or could we not able to deliver it? Is it that because?
No, we didn't even think that it was possible by us.
Okay.
I always say that the worst thing that happened to me is that I finished engineering. If I had not passed, probably I wouldn't have got a job and I would have done that. So at that time, entrepreneurship was done by guys who didn't finish engineering, right? I mean, but today, thankfully, the people are quite aware of what entrepreneurship is and why people should do it. People have started doing entrepreneurship for the right reasons now. Earlier, they were doing it more for survival, or I have to do something in life, so I'm not getting a job, let me do this.
Yes.
But now the students are thinking, okay, I need to do something because I am capable of doing it. For me to exploit my potential, or for me to leverage my potential and contribute my capabilities maximum to the society, I have to get into entrepreneurship. That is the thought process.
Even now, colleges are also coming forward, putting up ESLs, and back in the days, we didn't even have, no one has heard the term called ESL, or even any room for them also. Right now, college is also coming forward. Maybe it also helps them with the reputation, with the college students, whatever they are building.
Colleges, I think like this, that the colleges will always work in a lag. They don't lead the change. The change is led by the people.
Yes.
The change is led by people who have understood, thanks to the knowledge revolution, availability of so much of knowledge, and the open-mindedness of the new generation of parents also. I mean, at my time, probably my parents would have been very, very skeptical about me getting into a business and making a success out of it. But today's parents are thinking, I mean, why not? I mean, if there are so many opportunities, why should I restrict my children from exploiting that opportunity or exploring those possibilities? So in that way, I think the mindset in itself has changed a lot now, and jobs have become less secure. I mean, the risk in a job and the risk in running a business have pretty much come very close to each other. You can lose your job anytime. At least when I started my career, losing job was a very, very limited option. I mean, if you get a job, you are set for life. That's how it used to be, but now it is not so. So all these factors have now contributed to leading this. I don't think e-cells are driving it. I am saying the thought process is driving the e-cell, creation of e-cells, because these colleges cater to a market. If there is market for engineering, they will run engineering courses. If there is market for commerce, they will run that. So they will run courses which are which are demanded for by the
There was this
students.
one new course called AIDS, Artificial Intelligence Data Science.
Oh, okay.
I was literally shocked. If someone asks like some student, beta, what you're doing? AIDS.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, now everybody will call everything AI, catering.ai, construction.ai. I was listening to somebody, I think investor or I think somebody was telling that now everybody says AI is there in the company name, but nothing inside the company. So
And very recently, I was interacting with one data science where I recently connected on a meetup and everything. He was saying he was so frustrated with one thing. There was a stupid guy who is building some chatbot, and inside that he only using if and else.
okay.
Nothing else. If you're just building chatbot, what you're doing with your company? Not buying like domain is not a company. It's a concept. You need to integrate some. Not automation is not AI.
Correct.
A lot more. And wherever the demand is there, people comes and pops up like there is this thing. People who are digging the gold, they are not making the money. People who are selling the shovels and instruments, they are making.
No, see, it invariably happens. Anything that catches up as a trend will always be there, and ultimately, who will survive are the guys who are actually genuinely pursuing it.
Yes.
Not the, but the trend will always get created, and people, there will be a herd of followers who will follow trends.
So while students are in college, like we are actually talking on the students' opportunity they have, everything, right? So back in the days, present, what is someone can take the opportunity? Where is the thing they can catch up? Because a lot of people say like I can't able to like convince my parents on the entrepreneurship side, and people say like get a job while doing your job. Try doing this thing, your entrepreneurship startup idea. So what do you suggest?
Yeah, see, one of the fundamental qualities an entrepreneur should have is the ability to convince.
Yeah, true.
If that is a filter, I mean, if you are not able to convince your parent that you are capable of doing pursuing entrepreneurship or at least skilling yourself for entrepreneurship, you should work on your convincing skills. So these are all, see, I don't think that there is anybody who is, I can say that, oh, this guy is a good entrepreneur when he is not even started anything. Because I've also found that when in my interactions with many founders, they were all, many of them were accidental founders. They ended up being founders because of circumstances or something like that, and they have gone on to build great companies. They did not think, I have to do business, and they didn't get, of course there are people who have done that, but 50% of them are people who themselves didn't know that they were entrepreneurs. So going by that statistics and going by that sense, I am thinking that if somebody thinks that, okay, I am not able to convince my parents to allow me to skill myself for entrepreneurship, forget about exploring entrepreneurship, investing money and trying out, at least to gather the skills. If they are not able to convince them, then they should work on the convincing skills. They should build that skill first, so that they can convince their parents, yes, this person, my son or daughter can pursue this. So everything, a person who will look at every challenge or every rejection as an opportunity to grow himself will go on to become a good entrepreneur. If he needs an external support to convince his parents, or if he thinks that, okay, somebody else will come and convince my parents and I'll go join this course or I'll skill myself into this, ideally he should take up a job.
How did you build the team? The before teams, like not this one right now. So how you can build like good teams at your while they are in the like initial startup days, because they are not they can't pay like the students, or it will be anyone. Very little savings, right?
Right.
So they can work with the teams, build up their own teams.
Okay, see, the other, again, it all comes down to convincing people. Okay, First thing is to convince your parents that it's a great idea to allow them to do the business. The second thing is to convince people who are capable of contributing to your startup that it is a great idea for you to contribute here. So I always tell that students, at least till the age of 25, should not spend money to do anything. They should not spend money to learn. They should not spend money to stay. They should not spend money to eat. If they work hard, if they convince the right set of people, they will be able to get all these things free. And if they are ready to live that frugally.
Yes.
Okay, if you want a villa with the AC and other things, of course you will be charged. But if you are ready to compromise on, focus on your capability building rather than your comfort, physical comfort, you can get it at very, very affordable prices.
And even there are like 3 ways after the college or in the college they can get go to like abroad for higher studies or exposure and everything. Second thing, the startup, it could be, or the government jobs, or it could be like working in a full-time job like with the corporate or everything. So when you are working in the full-time job, you left the corporate job and everything and working on the startup, what is the actual take, like leaving that big job? And is it like happiness you're focusing on? Is it the money, or is it the impact you want to work on, the change?
See, it is fundamentally the happiness. Okay, ultimately everything boils down to happiness. Is whether what do we earn money for? To be happy. What do we do impact for? To be happy. Or what do we do something of great experience or whatever it is? If I have a skill, why do I want to show it to people? So that I can be happy. Not just that the other people want to be happy. Great actors act. Okay, it's not only because they want other people to be happy. They also enjoy the process of doing it. That is why they act, and that's why they are able to do it well. Right. So I don't think there is any guarantee that. Or of course, when we say that there is high risk in entrepreneurship, what does it mean? There is lowest guarantee that you will get money.
Yes.
Right. So there is better guarantee in employment to get money, but there are people who cannot be happy in an employment basically because the employment means that I have to align my vision to somebody else's vision, an organization vision, and run with it. Some people can do it, or some people are lucky that they have a vision which is aligned with that organization and they go ahead and do it. But there are people who have an entirely different vision. What they want to do is different. Their capabilities are, they might be very, very capable in an organization in working, but they have, the vision might be different. What they want to do, the capability will be different. So they go out, seek out this opportunities of entrepreneurship and build things.
And following up question, like people always think like, I have great idea, but I actually need investor, I actually need fund. And they actually look for the investor before they're even starting. I have my answer, like before that.
If your idea is great, then you don't need an investor.
Yeah.
Right. So if it is really that great, and if you are taking it to a customer, you don't need to do marketing to sell gold, right? I mean, you don't. If you have gold, go and give it to somebody. Anybody will buy it at market price. So if you think that you have a gold idea, go and give it to a customer. See whether he will buy it or not. If he buys, then it is gold. And if he buys and finds value, more and more people will buy it from you. Unlike gold, this will keep on, you can keep on producing a service. So you keep giving it to the customers. Customers themselves will become investors in your venture. Idea is very, very important. I am not saying what is an idea. An idea is a understanding of a problem, identifying a solution, a possible solution for it, and creating a product for it. Right? This is the entire process of doing this is a creation of an idea. Now, do you think that people who are suffering from the problem don't know about it? Don't you think if they sit down for some time, they can come up with a solution? And don't you think that if they come up with a solution, they can actually implement it? They can all do it, but the difference between them and you is that you are doing it, they are not doing it. So in my opinion, startup or enterprise is 3 things. One is innovation, execution, and collection. If innovation is 5%, execution is 80%, and collection is 15%.
Yes.
If you don't follow up the innovation with execution and collection, there is no point.
Yes.
There is no point in blaming an investor or blaming a customer or the market or a competitor, nothing. You have to follow up the innovation with execution and collection. If you do that, automatically, if you follow up the innovation with execution, you will get investor. Because people will see it act out in the market.
Yes.
Once they see it act out in the market, you will get investor. Once you get investor, obviously scale and growth will automatically happen.
Execution is a very key part, and it's not very necessarily funding is the success. Like people glorified a lot. Funding is like you succeeded or something like that. The real work starts at the funding and everything. You need to be very, what we say, responsible for this money, whatever you're spending, whatever each and every penny, and every decision. You have no freedom. You need to take with these people, and as mentioned, like you can go for something as gold. It is not necessarily from the beginning you need to make money or something like that. With a lot of resources available right now, open source like internet, everything we have internet, we can leverage it a lot, and people itself they pay instead of before investors, and lots of investors are very biased when you show them like profits.
Exactly. See, what is the job of an investor? Why is it is to put money and get better returns.
Yes.
And they would want to put money, and they have lot of options to put money into. So when they have lot of options to put money into, they would rather see, if you go and tell that, okay, I'll make a great omelette. Okay, you give me 100 rupees. Or rather, you make the omelette with cheese and all the stuff and go and give it to them, put it in front of them, and they are hungry, and tell them, okay, give 150 and take this. Which do you think will succeed?
The second one.
The guy who is hungry will go on he'll pay 150 and take that.
Yes.
Right. So you might say, no, my omelette is cheaper, it is better, it is more tastier, but you are still only saying.
Yes.
That guy did it.
Numbers in the progress. Yeah. Oh, the colleges, like as mentioned, like we are previously talking, like what topics should we talk on the podcast? The relationships. So shows what we say. Shows a little light on like what actually, how does relation stops from building something or moving forward in the life.
Yeah, I think I learned it, personally I learned it very late,
Yeah.
how important relationships are. I had always considered that intelligence is very, very important, but I think today if anybody would ask me, I would say no, intelligence is probably in the 4th or 5th place in priorities of life. Relationship comes first. I used to rate integrity also very high, more than relationship, but I think now I have put relationship on top. Relationship is very, very important in the sense that you need people to want you to succeed.
Yes.
People may transact with you to the extent that they are forced to transact with you. Once they get an opportunity to stop transacting with you, they'll just drop you like hot potato. If in worst case scenario, what they will actually root for your failure also. So relationship is very absolutely necessary. I would say that is only relationship makes sense in this world. Nothing else makes sense. I mean, even to a great extent, fundraising depends a lot on the relationships that you have built rather than on your idea itself. I mean, companies getting funded at idea stage predominantly are funded based on relationship and not because of anything else. I mean, the first investors in many companies will be the families, friends, and fools.
Yes.
Very few fools are there in the investment community.
Close network, by the referrals, yeah.
There are very few people who will simply trust you and put money. Most people will put money because they just love you. They just like you, not for anything else. Not because they think, oh, he is maverick, he will definitely generate money, or he'll print money and give it to me. It's not like that. So relationships at every stage of your journey as an entrepreneur, I think even not as an entrepreneur, as a human being, at every stage there will be we might not able to be aware of what the contribution of a close relative is, close person who is in touch with us. Okay, so but it is very, very critical to build great relationships, and great relationships can be built through honesty, vulnerability, and what do you call, giving.
Yes.
To get a great friend, first you have to be a great friend. Then only you can get that. So that is one skill people should focus on.
And the second one, the vulnerability. A lot of people feel like, if I show my this side, what people may gonna think, what people might judge about me. But the thing is, like, they will connect you at that level. Okay, he is also having the problems. At that level, they will connect with you.
Yeah. So I have a theory in relationships, okay, in networking. I call it networking 112. I believe that the bare minimum you need 112 people to live in this world for 100 years. So you need to get at least one person to love you. Okay. At least 1%.
Can it be parents? No.
No, it can be anybody.
It can
be
anyone.
That one person should love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
And invariably, more than parents, it's mostly the spouse.
Yeah.
Right? You should get your spouse to love you. I would put it like this. Number 2 is, you should get 10 people to trust you. These 10 people will be your parents, your children, your co-founders, and your siblings. These are the 10 people who will trust you. They like you, they will put up with you. They may not love you as a top priority person. Only your spouse can do that. Okay? They have their own person to love, right? Even your parents. Your father has your mother to love, and your mother has your father to love. They may not prioritize you on top at all times.
Till to who will we travel with till our end.
Exactly. So you need to get those 10 people to trust you. Love can be built only by giving love, being loving, and being vulnerable. And trust also can be built exactly by the same way. Maybe with the understanding that, boss, I am not the top priority for you. So we should trust, and we should be trusting. These are the 10 people, at least 10 people we should have, whom we can trust and who will trust us also. And we should have 100 people who can transact with you. That is, they should be ready to give you money, product or service. They should give money in exchange of your product or service, or they should give product or service in exchange for your money. So these 100 people are required for your life. So this is 111 people, right? So fundamentally, to build all these relationships, to build all these things, you should first build a relationship with the most important person in your life, that is yourself, right? Most of us are, although it looks very funny, but most of us are really afraid of talking to ourselves.
Yes.
It is, we are afraid that, oh, if I look internally, will I really like myself? Will I really be able to meet me? So it is very, very important that we meet that person who we really are, and then start building these relationships. And these 112 people in your life, I mean, the more the merrier, but bare minimum you definitely need 112 people.
This human life is so complex within like relationship, maybe like chasing like a purpose, what they're working on, which path they need to choose. What's your take on that? Like, for example, how can someone find their passion or purpose, and how can find she is my partner, or she is my team, or these are the people transactional one. How someone can like segregate each.
You are asking me how to find these 112 people.
112 people, and how can like point out like these are these are.
Yeah, exactly. So as I said, the first thing is to find yourself. Okay, say that, okay, this is me. This is how I am. This is how I engage with people. Then be honest about it with everybody. Don't try to have a facade.
Yes.
There are 8 billion people in the world. Okay, it cannot be very difficult to find 112 people in that. So you don't have to try to go and satisfy or do marketing about project yourself differently to other people. Because I give this example all the time. We have studied in schools, but so many teachers have we have studied under. 1 minute. We have studied, so many teachers would have taught us, right? but there are few teachers that we really like or respect.
Yeah.
We were small kids. How did we arrive at that judgment? Right? Okay, why didn't I respect all the teachers the way I respected this teacher? Because I was able to feel it, right?
Yes.
I was able to feel the fakeness, or I was able to feel the insincerity, or other way around, I was able to feel the sincerity of this teacher with whom I engaged better.
Yes.
Right? So if a child is having that capability, why do you think that anybody else will not have it? Everybody actually sees through the fakeness.
Yes, yes.
Like I told, if you don't build honest relationships, they will just wait for you to fail. They will transact with you till such time they can't do without you. If they can do without you, they will choose the other person to transact with.
Yes.
So to find that right set of relationships, be honest, be who you are. Don't take don't try to manipulate people. It takes a lot of energy to manipulate people. It is far more easier to be vulnerable and trusting and what do you call engaging with people at a very, very honest level. And in my personal experience, I have seen that people actually want you to succeed. They actually want to have a good relationship with everybody. They get pissed off only when they get manipulated.
Yes. Right now, as a founder, as a building like since from the corporate or maybe like a couple of startups, working with other startups, being in the like ecosystem, active ecosystem, how you are leveraging the technology right now? How someone can leverage in their startup, in their maybe like project they are building, not just a startup or something like that, or in their professional journey?
Okay, so I would specific of startups, I would tell that my strategy for leverage using technology is that first fundamentally finalize the product or service. Okay, build the product or service without technology.
Without technology.
Test it out.
Or something it's going in the reverse pattern.
Exactly.
So the coin.
No, see, building products straight away in technology is good for tech founders. Okay, if you can code it yourself, you should do it.
Okay, then it works for them.
You test it out because it's all only your effort that you are putting it out. But if you are a non-tech guy and you are building a product on tech straight away without actually testing the process, see, what does tech do? Tech simply automates the process. It doesn't. It in itself, it's not a business.
Yes.
Right? It's a automation of a existing process, a useful process. So first test it out. I think most companies which were built, which were worthwhile, were built like that. When they were built with very, very frugal technology, most of the people we have heard about. I don't want to take the names, but those founders, if you ask them, they'll say, no, pehle I went and did the delivery, I went and took the ride, I went and did this. So unless you have done that, and unless you are very, very clear that this is your process or this is how it is 80% perfect or 80% right way to do this, don't get into tech. Build tech. Okay, once you do this, okay, you understand that this is the product, this is the service, or this is the solution, and this is how this problem should be solved. Find a techie to convince him to commit his time for this. Don't outsource it.
Yes.
Find a co-founder and build from that. Because outsourcing, it is like, see, your startup is your child. Okay, you should have a child with your wife. Okay, so find a wife.
Okay.
Okay, don't outsource it.
But in the beginning days, the execution is very key important thing. Like fasten up the process.
Execution is important at all times.
Fasten up the process and everything. इतना slow करे तो उतना competitor साथ जाएगा.
नहीं होता है, ऐसा नहीं होता है. See, lot of people think that if competition comes, we will lose out. Then that means that your understanding of the problem and solution is so fragile. Okay, that means you have selected a problem which is so simple to solve. Normally, what happens is what you see on the surface is not what happens. even in Amazon, as a customer, you say, "Oh, I click, material came." Right? Behind it,
It's a
so
lot.
much is going on.
It's a lot.
Right? So if you think that somebody can figure out every aspect of that and implement it as good as you, then you should go and join him.
Okay. And how for the maybe like tools or maybe like the resources, what are the good resources you recommend for the non-tech and tech people who are like building solutions, or it could be anything, maybe some products, maybe some solutions.
Well, it depends on exactly the problem that they are trying to address. I am not sure how I can answer that question. The resources resources are everywhere. But it depends on what problem you are trying to solve.
Okay. And there is this thing like you are selecting the simple problem or the solution, whatever you're building. So it's on the mindset. How can someone like evolve their mindsets into something like very big? Their mindset as an entrepreneur, think big.
Okay. Right. See,
before that, the thing is like maybe due to their constraints of the environment, their thoughts might be limited, or when they get exposure, they might be thinking like, okay, these are the things available for me, the opportunities or the resources. Okay, this also solution can be happen in this way, like that. So how can they expand their?
No, yeah, exactly. What happens is human mind is like that. It keeps on expanding.
Yeah.
If you are riding a cycle, you think I want a bike. Once you get the bike, then for 10 days you are happy. After that thing, you are thinking I need a car. Once you get a hatchback, then you say I need a sedan. Then you say that no, I want a SUV. So just like that, I don't think any entrepreneur has a limited mind. I mean, the fact that he came from problem to solution to product is that he has a tendency to progress, right? So if he has come and he has created a product for solving a problem, and it is addressing say 1% of the entire problem or the entire ecosystem of the problem, he will find the next best thing to solve. He will continuously keep finding, and if the customers are happy with the solution that he is providing, they will themselves come and give idea. Hey, tum aisa karo na, vaisa karo na. They will only give ideas. And a smart businessman generally will take up those ideas and work on it.
So this ecosystem, maybe like startup ecosystem.
I think the answer, I didn't address the
thing
question
is like
itself.
my question is in the reverse way, like
how to think big, you are asking.
Think big from the limited mindset to something like unlimited mindset. Not unlimited something, but beyond limited mindset.
No, see, that is where attention to detail or the focus on detail and I would say you should have some kind of what do you call passion for that problem. You should develop a passion for that problem. A passion is something that can be developed also. Once you get into it,
how?
So what you should do is, once you look at a problem, you should come with thousands of solutions. You should try and see what all can be the solutions. Okay, this problem is there. What are people doing about it right now? It's not that it's not getting solved. It's getting solved, that's why people are living, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, people can't live. They are putting up with it. Okay, if they are putting up with it, how are they putting up with it? If they are already used to putting up with it, why will they pay to solve that problem? Right? So all these things we should keep digging and digging further and come up with multiple solutions. Okay, where we stop thinking big is, we start with a solution. I have AI. I will solve this problem with AI. If you go that way, you will be fixated with AI, right? But if you come from the problem, and if you genuinely want to solve the problem, you will find thousands of ways to solve that problem. If you find thousands of ways to solve that problem, your mind will automatically expand. And among the thousands of ways, you will find out which is most viable, which is possible, and for which customer will pay. All these things will come up in the discussion.
Yeah.
If you are approaching the problem, approaching it with a solution in hand, or you are saying, oh, I can paint, so I will go and paint Karthik's face. Karthik would want to paint his face, no? he says, no, I don't want to paint. Then your product is already sold. But what does Karthik want? If you think that, okay, I want to serve Karthik somehow, what does he want?
Get to know.
Exactly. If I focus on the problem, my thinking big will automatically happen. If I focus on if I think that I have a great solution and focus on the solution, thinking big will get curtailed. Because I'm already in love with my solution.
So automatically start like climbing the steps to explore more by himself with the time. When he start getting that he need to get to that single point, he automatically goes to that thing. Okay. So right now the students have like a dilemma, like they have full opportunities, full options. So it's a lot of big confusion. And even for you now, whenever you're in that stage also, you got to like go for which path I need to choose. Maybe the job, maybe the MS or something like that. And more on like should I need to take a gap year or something like, because we have like good life. We don't know like when we're gonna like what we say, take rest, deep rest. But should someone is it like good advice for people to take a break to start exploring opportunities, or just keep moving in the same direction what all people are going?
Okay. How long is the break?
6 months, 1 year.
Okay, if you focus, 1 week break is enough. Okay, if you focus and
because lot of in my circle, what people are were asking, because like what I say to them, like you can take a break and you can explore, or if you have the clarity, you can go ahead. It could be like 6 months, 1 year, because they have the support and everything. They can explore travel, they can explore places, they can explore like startup, a lot of this.
Okay, I'm generally a impatient guy, so I like to do things quickly. Okay. So if I have a purpose of figuring out what I have to do, first thing is go inward again. That is again my suggestion would be take a break of 7 days. Decide that I want to understand what I want in life. Put yourself into a cocoon and sit with yourself, talk to yourself, try and figure out what actually keeps me motivated at all times. Something that will motivate me from internally, okay, from inside, is something that will help me have a fulfilling life, right? If I'm motivated by say I am saying that okay, my family debt is there. I am motivated by the fact that okay, I have a father whom I have to make happy. When find money, father will not be there, right? There's no motivation after that.
Yes.
But if I am saying that okay, there is something that internally I have a drive to do, and I will do this even if I'm not paid for. Okay, that is the motivation you have to find out.
This is something like whatever you're doing, it is for your happiness, but it might feel work for other people, not work for you.
Exactly. I mean, there are multiple frameworks, including Ikigai framework. So I would say that take a break of 7 days. Decide that I have to find out what is this one, and I will remove the clutter of rest of the world, right? In the sense that there are so many things that are not in my control. Okay, I am not going to take any decision based on what is not in my control. Ye trending mein hai. Today AI is in trending, so I should learn trending. No, that is not the point. Okay, in another 2 years, trending Web3 was trending sometime back. Crypto was trending sometime back. Now it is not trending. We don't know what will happen.
And people did change like between like multiple things. They were like saying like back then I did blockchain, now I left. Now I'm focusing on the data science. Everything. Now data science is in the move.
Exactly. So you will always be in the move, and you will be chasing your own tail.
Yes.
Which you are never going to catch. So instead of that, sit and think, what is it that will motivate me, keep me happy, and focus on that, and identify that, work on it, and come back, see in the real world, is this something that what will people pay for? I'll tell in my journey, my real love is for economics. Okay, although I'm an engineer, I love economics. I love to understand and know more about how money works, how people react to money, how people react to the need, want, and all those things, and how they take decisions. A very, very interesting subject in my opinion. Although I worked 8 years in engineering industry, I was in sales. and I have applied only economics principles to sell my products. I have never gone and sold based on price or anything like that. I have always sold on value. I always used to tell, this is the investment, this is the return that you will get out of it. So whatever investment you make, you will get it back in so many days. And I have sold with the highest profits, and I have a reputation for value selling. When I was in the bank, again it was the same thing. I always used to be, I built the capability to understand, look at operations and look at the balance sheet and see whether it makes sense or not. Because a lot of financial statements are written to satisfy the bankers. So I developed that skill fundamentally because of my love for economics.
Yes.
Then in my employment with NTC Logistics, again I applied all the economics principles to see how can I reduce cost, how can I improve value, how can something be done in a better way, more economical way. Personally also I live a very frugal life because because I understand economics. I always see that okay, I am not enamored by brands or anything, something like that. If something is of value, I will have that. I will use dress for 10 years, 12 years. If it is still there, it will work. So I never have this kind of things that okay, I should be wearing great brands. People should look at me. Those things, because fundamental love for economics. Today in 18 Startup, what am I doing? I am teaching children economics.
Yeah, which are like fundamental, not
it is fundamental for entrepreneurship.
Schools and even colleges, which is like much needed.
Yeah, but they are not teaching.
They are not teaching.
Because it's not in trend. Because it makes sense. It is not in trend. So, but even now in 18 Startup, what I am trying to convey or take forward to the participants of the fellowship is teaching them economics and helping them becoming an entrepreneur from economics point of view, because ultimately business should make economic sense. You can hold something with performance monitoring only to a certain extent of time. After that, it should make economic sense. So that is what is driving me to do this. Even in my financial inclusion platform, the fundamental thought process was how to take these economic lessons to the auto drivers in a way that they will understand.
As you are teaching economics for the teens right now, maybe like founders who are there in your circle, but even your curriculum and everything modules are public out there. But people who are watching this, like what are the fundamental skills everyone need to learn which are not taught in the schools or colleges, and which are fundamental skills maybe even they are taught in the colleges, which are like very much needed in the real time world.
See, one thing we have to understand, that entrepreneurship is a sport and an art at the same time. Okay, you cannot learn a sport by reading books. You can learn a sport by playing.
Yes.
So what we are trying to do is give that experience of playing the sport called entrepreneurship. Okay, why I am saying that it is also an art, because you have to be very creative at the same time.
Yes.
Of course, there is a lot of creativity in sports. Sports means that there are rules, okay, and there is a physical fitness that is required,
yes,
and mental agility that is required, and art requires all these things and creativity, right? So entrepreneurship being sport and an art, it will be great for students to practice this when they are still in college. If they practice this, they can be a businessman, or even if they go on to choose to be employed or something like that, because of circumstances they are not able to launch on their own. Wherever they go, they will be able to contribute in a better way, because they would have developed the skills, they would have created the network, right? Ultimately, and they would have developed the business acumen.
Yes.
Right? So ultimately, whatever said and done, as an employee or as an entrepreneur, you are part of the economic system. You are part of the business ecosystem. You need to understand how it works to be more efficient in your contribution.
As a business acumen startup founder and the student who is growing, what's your way of networking and how someone can learn networking? Because a lot of people, whenever I go, and maybe you also observe this thing, a lot of people go for networking events, but just sit in somewhere or maybe like talk with one person and just like stay still.
See, who do you want to network with?
The other guys like the targeted guy whoever want.
Would you target a 10th standard boy to network with?
If I want to.
If he has the great capability for.
Yes.
Right.
If I want to.
So what is the fundamental reason that you want to network with the person?
So I can maybe something I'm expecting that person. I want to add something back.
Right. So why should he network with you?
As I have something to offer.
Exactly. So network is the only
being resourceful. Yeah.
Only way to network is to being useful. So if you build capabilities and be useful to other people, networking will automatically happen.
But in many cases, what happens like maybe upper level, C level, or the top people, we might not be resourceful for these people because they have like good resources.
See, C level people don't look to. That is why they are C level people. Okay, they don't look short term. They don't think आज शाम को एक मेरे लिए कुछ काम करेगा क्या. If they see potential, they will network with you.
So how does someone like pitch like in a
show your potential.
Yeah.
And don't show your potential by pitching. Show your potential by acting. Yes. Doing is everything.
So again, yeah. So there we go.
Show your potential by doing something. If you show your potential by doing something, see, and network by virtue of it is called creating a it is a chain,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Network is not having 1,000 direct contacts. It is having 10 people and through them having another 100 people and through them having another 1,000 people. That is what a network is. If you have to have the link with everybody, that is not called a network. So you create you create value in yourself, display that value to 10 people who can trust you entirely. That is those 10 people's trust will take you long way. They will recommend you to somebody known. See, mostly what happens in businesses, including finding co-founder or customer, there is a person who trusts you, and there's a person trusts another person in the same way. And they say, okay, why don't you guys work together? Why don't you provide the service to him? Right? If they don't trust you, they won't make that connection. So you need to create that circle of trust first, then expand on that. Going to networking events and meeting strangers doesn't help. In my opinion, it doesn't help. It doesn't help for me. If you are meeting strangers, you may be able to get a familiarity, but it doesn't become a network. It needs to be converted into a network by displaying capability for contributing to their growth also, or showing potential that okay, in future this guy can be useful to me in some way.
If someone can reach out to you, like in what ways you can help with them, like maybe like they might be not resourceful, but they want to like learn more like this in the future or something like that. Yeah, in what way, like in what way you can help, like
okay, the people I like to network with, at least upwards, of course, everybody. But you are saying that who are not yet not yet resourceful. Yes. I would like to interact with people who are open to learning and who want to try out things, who are execution focused, who are wanting to. When I say learn, it's not about knowing the principles. It's about doing it and testing it out.
Yes.
And coming out with your own theories of how it will work or how it will not work. So I like to interact with youngsters who have that kind of orientation.
And what are the things you learn from, like maybe like any person you learned, like okay, this is the one of the person who actually broke the pattern and made some sort of.
There are many people who did that to me.
Because very recently one guy, like he didn't had any resource or something like that, he just like made a video out of like recorded a video, like put up so much effort saying like I want doing this so and so, I want to meet and talk to you, and wrote a mail. So like that, is there someone broke the patterns, like not in a regular way of networking, something like that in your way? So someone can copy the same up to other people who
No, see, that is what, these are exceptions.
Yeah.
You cannot make a rule out of exceptions. Yes. Fundamentally, ultimately, all that effort means what? He has displayed potential.
Yes.
Right? He has shown that I will take effort. That is the point. Going and meeting and saying hi is also effort, but that many people are putting. But this guy said, okay, let me completely put my pitch entirely. So it was his way of communicating that, see, I have potential, please look at me. And probably how many people would have liked that? There are 8 billion people. Again, only some 2-3 people would have liked it. Right? So again, fundamentally, it comes to honesty, integrity, and intuitiveness. If everybody will do that, then that will become another nuisance.
Yes.
Right? So that is why the networking events are all now not very effective, because everybody is coming there, and the only nowadays in networking event only people who want something are coming. No, people who can give something are not coming.
Okay.
Right.
Nice take.
The real people who can actually do something, they are not coming, they are avoiding, because they are seeing that, okay, so many fellows are coming and hanging on top of me. They are choking my bandwidth.
Yes.
So don't do that.
And everyone is building communities. Every student or every organization, every startup, or even the big MNC company also building their sub communities. And if someone want to start, what is the true community, and how can make the best community? Like best community in the sense, like compared to other communities, how they can offer more value.
Community again is a network, right? As I said, everything should make sense for people. They should either feel happy or useful, or they should get use from engaging with something. There are a lot of political parties, trade unions with members. They say, I have 1,000 members, 2,000 members, but the members don't even care. I will give an example. Community is like the heat from the boiler, right? Imagine a very cold hill station and a tea shop there. There will be a boiler to make tea, right? And if you see, most people will be near that boiler.
Yeah.
The purpose of the boiler is not to warm these people. The purpose of the boiler is to heat the water to make tea. Okay, so the community is when that heat comes out organically and warms people. So it may turn into business, right? The people who are standing there, they will also feel like drinking tea. They were actually standing there to get warmth of the boiler, and they end up buying tea also. So the community building should happen. You cannot build a community for the sake of a community. It should have an anchor. There should be a fundamental business from which there is so much heat coming, there is so much knowledge emanating, radiating from it, that people just going nearby and being in the vicinity can benefit to some extent. That is how communities get created.
Yes.
Right? So people trying to build a community for the sake of building community, I'm not sure how effectively they'll be able to do it, because there is nothing getting generated, no? Here in this example of a boiler, that there is heat getting generated for the sake, some other sake.
Yes.
But you are also benefiting by standing outside and getting the warmth.
Yes.
So have I tried to give the right answer?
Yes.
So community building, you cannot build a community for the sake of building community. You can build a community over and above by using the excess energy that is available in your business itself. And you should be frank that, boss, I am running a business.
Yeah.
And you gain out of it, please gain out of it. But this is also business.
Yeah. And people should know like what's happening, everything. Like
be frank.
Yeah. Be open.
Be open that of course we are in the business of knowledge. So we are selling knowledge, right?
Yes.
We are and we are selling knowledge primarily because we believe that there is value.
Yes.
And by that doesn't mean that we should not share knowledge, spread the knowledge without taking money.
Yeah, it was like great time spending with you. But before that, I have a rapid thing. So I'm gonna ask you like few questions, like maybe on the habits or skills or books, or it could be anything. So everything 2, not 3, 5, something like that. Let me just break that number. So everything, like you need to answer like two answers, like it could be books or anything.
I have to give 2 answers.
2 answers.
Okay.
So books.
Okay. 2 books. Difficulty of being good.
Difficulty of being
Difficulty of Being Good.
Okay.
That is my favorite book. It is written by Gurcharan Das. So it's an amazing book. It helps you to look inward and understand how world works and understand more about integrity.
Okay.
So that is one book that I love. The other book that I love is Ideas and Opinions of Albert Einstein. And one more book I'll say. I like the biography of Napoleon Bonaparte
Napoleon Bonaparte.
by Emil Ludwig.
2 skills.
Which I'm developing now, relationship skills and thinking.
Okay.
These are 2 skills which I thinking is a specific skill in my opinion. It is not something that automatically happens. If it is automatically happening, it is you are allowing the mind to control you.
Yeah.
But if you control the mind, then it is thinking is a skill.
Yeah, it's an art, yeah. And 2 habits.
Waking up early, punctuality.
Punctuality. And 2 hacks.
Understand what is integrity. Because world will keep throwing you challenges where your values will be questioned. Be very clear where you will what you are compromising.
2 places. Once
Home.
in lifetime. Home. Someone can
Home and myself internally.
Okay. If it's for someone else, like places.
2 places to go.
Yeah.
You
Once in
want me
lifetime,
to
like,
mention cities?
Yeah.
Himalayas. Himalayas once. I think Himalayas twice.
Okay. And I actually forgot here, man. Like just in these places, maybe like 2 tips.
Tips for what?
Tips for in the startup ecosystem. Maybe there will be people should avoid these mistakes. So can they save little days, few weeks, or few months?
Okay. One tip is indecision is more expensive than wrong decision. So decide quickly. Don't worry too much about whether it will be right or wrong. Do sufficient. Take decision with 70% information.
2 people, everyone should learn more about them. Like they can learn something about them.
2 people for us to look up to.
Or maybe like you can suggest like these are the 2 people.
Okay, I'll tell about the 2 people I look up to in my life. One is Mahatma Gandhi. Not for anything else, but the way he lived his life. Both the people, same thing. The another is Subramania Bharatiyar. He is a Tamil poet. Not only for his works, but also the way he lived his life.
And 2 movies.
2 movies. I don't want to suggest any movie. I don't think. I watch a lot of movies, but
and he's also acted in movies. So he's into like many things. Yeah, like he's a specialist and he's into like generalist. He's also integrator, like integrating multiple stuffs. Yeah.
Thank you. So I won't suggest any movies. I mean, watch movies. Anything that goal is one movie which. See, actually, if you want to learn something, you can watch any movie and learn something. So I don't want to suggest anything.
And 2 biggest learnings in your life. Yeah.
To become a CEO, start thinking like a CEO from day one. Don't wait to become the CEO to start thinking like one. You can become a CEO only if you are thinking like a CEO when you start. That is one thing.
And this also applies for the other roles as well. Maybe it could be.
There is no other role worthwhile. All of you think like a CEO.
Yeah. Take control.
Yeah, take control. Think what will I do if I am the CEO of this company? Is this the right decision? Is this the right step? If I am the CEO and if my salesman is doing this, what will I think? How will it impact me? Think like that. So that is one thing. And the second thing is, don't overthink. Mostly think more. I mean, decide more with your heart than with your brain.
Is something controversial, but how someone can like control their overthinking, because like so many people are looking out for this answer.
Yeah, decision. you decide not to overthink. That is the only way to stop overthinking. The moment you know that you are overthinking, right? The moment you start overthinking, you pause and say, okay, I'm overthinking, I don't want to think. What was the first thought that came in my mind? So pause for some time and then take it. I always tell that, just brain is just an organ like a hand. Just because you have, do you keep
You keep
moving
hitting the
it,
nail, yeah.
right? You don't do that. So rest your brain also sometimes.
Yeah, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. We supposed to do it for long, but due to time constraint, we
Due to lighting.
lighting and other things, we couldn't do it. And more than like I also focus on other topics I can discuss with Prakash. So it's like always like Wikipedia, walking Wikipedia, like many. Very few days back we actually met, and I'll try to do a few more. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you
Nice
so much
meeting
for
you,
your
Karthik. Thanks for connecting with
Thank
me.
you. Chalo guys, this for this podcast. It was completely impromptu, and yeah, we actually running out of light. That's on our faces. And right now we are in Goa. And if you are someone student or even the professional who want to looking to upskill your knowledge in startup ecosystem, how startup works in the real time, not just like ideating or theoretical. It is completely practical. You need to bring in the numbers. You need to make the progress. Everything. It's called something called 18 Startup. So wherever you are, you just do it in the practical. And I'll share the link in description. Everything you can check 18 Startup and apply for the next cohort. Slots are full. Join the wait list.
Yeah, apply. Doing is everything.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Yeah.